What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor Dark Joker with another edition of When, Where, Pick and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. College men's basketball. Louisville Cardinals versus North Carolina Tar Heels. Louisville has a 59.3% chance to win, and UNC is a 40.7% chance to win. This is at UNC. So Louisville's 21 nation, 20-7 record. UNC's 16 nation, 21-6 record. For stats, Louisville is more points per game, points against, field goal percentage is even. Louisville's a slightly more rebounds per game, and has more assists per game. UNC has slightly more blocks per game, and Louisville has more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think North Carolina will beat Louisville tomorrow. Houston Cougars versus Kansas Jayhawks. Houston has a 59.8% chance to win, and Kansas has a 40.2% chance to win. This is at Kansas. So Houston is 2 in the nation, 23-4 record. Kansas is 8 in the nation, 20-7 record. For stats, Houston has slightly more points per game. Kansas has more points against, and has a higher field goal percentage, and has more rebounds per game. Houston has slightly more assists per game. Kansas has more blocks per game, and Houston has more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think Kansas will beat Houston tomorrow. College women's basketball. Kansas State Wildcats versus Baylor Bears. Kansas State has a 17.1% chance to win, and Baylor has an 82.9% chance to win. This is at Baylor. Kansas State's unranked 15-14 record. Baylor's 15 nation 23-6 record. For stats, Baylor has more points per game. Kansas State has more points against and a slightly higher field goal percentage. Baylor has more rebounds per game, slightly more assists per game, more blocks per game, and Kansas State has more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think Baylor will beat Kansas State tomorrow. Georgia Bulldogs versus Auburn Tigers. Georgia has a 80.2% chance to win, and Auburn has a 19.9% chance to win. This is at Auburn. So Georgia is 24 in the nation, 20-7 record. Auburn is unranked, 14-13 record for stats. Georgia has more points per game. Auburn has more points against. Georgia has a higher field goal percentage and has more rebounds per game, assists per game, slightly more blocks per game, and Auburn has more steals per game. The only stat that's really like a big difference is points per game. It's a 14.2 difference in favor of Georgia. So despite whatever home field advantage Auburn has, because it's a non-football sport, so for some schools, maybe that could affect attendance, like fan crowd, whatever. But regardless of that, the points per game difference is going to be a bigger deal. So I think Georgia will beat Auburn tomorrow. NBA. San Antonio Spurs versus Detroit Pistons. The Spurs have a 43% chance to win. The Pistons have a 57% chance to win. This is at Detroit. Um, so for injuries, for the Spurs, Waters is the third's a game time decision. Plumlee's a game time decision for a non-injury reason, and Jones Garcia is out for the season, and Stewart's out for suspension. For stats, Spurs have more points per game, points against, field goal percentage is even. Spurs have slightly more rebounds per game, assists per game is even. Pistons have more blocks per game, and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Pistons will beat the Spurs tomorrow. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.